Okay, we're going to add some more CSS to our menu to have these custom fonts and build in our hover and our down states. So let's come over here back to our code, and we need to build another rule, another CSS rule, and this is going to be another compound rule, and it's going to be pound main dash nav space ULLIA. So this is going to affect all of the anchor tags. So it's going to affect this anchor, but only the anchors that are inside of this main nav. So inside of this rule, we'll create some additional HTML. So the first thing we're going to do is set the background color so we can kind of see these. Background dash color. I'll just set this equal to, what color have we not used? Can't remember. Let's set it equal to black. So that'll work. Background color black. And we'll save and refresh, and now all those are going to turn black. All right, now we need to set the color of the font. We want this font to be white for now. And forgot one F there, FFF. So now the color of the font is white. And we need to also set this to say display inline dash block. And what that's going to do is make it so that the entire area is clickable. So next we're going to want to add a little bit of padding. So let's add, let's see, 25 pixels all the way around these menu items, so they're nice and big now. And if back here at our mockup, there's those are looking pretty good there. So whoops. So that looks okay. And we want to add just a couple of additional things inside of here. Let's add a text shadow, and we want to get rid of these underlines. So let's turn off this background color because that was just for our testing. And we'll refresh that, and we can see our purple there again. And we can actually come in and get rid of that purple as well in our main nav. We don't need that anymore. And let's get rid of the underlines. To do that, we say text dash decoration, set that equal to none. That's going to get rid of those underlines on our navigational elements. We're going to set the font. Here's where you'd use your Google custom font again, but I'm just going to do the same thing and set this to Myriad Pro here. And that looks okay. And let's see, let's add a couple more things inside of here. We need to get rid of here's a property that's not used very often, but it's called white space. And we're going to set this to no wrap. And what this does, it'll ensure that if we have 2-letter words inside of our buttons, they won't wrap down onto the other line. So if I have about space something, it'll make sure that that stays on the same line without wrapping those words around. We happen to not have any buttons that are 2 words, but that will help prevent that should we have any. So the next thing we need to do is let's just set the font size. We have forgot about that. So let's up the font size, and we'll set this equal to 20 pixels and come back here and refresh that. So that's a bit closer to what we have. And let's come back and look at our mockup and zoom in here. Now you'll notice that for the selected page, it looks a little bit different. So we're just going to set up a fake selected page just to illustrate this. So what we need to do is to come into our HTML, and on this last link here, we could pick any link really, but on this last link we'll say class equals current. So whatever link is going to be the current link, we would just take this and paste it onto that particular link. So this last one will be current. We'll come back to our HTML, and we'll set up the CSS, and we'll set up that selected or current link. So that's going to happen right underneath here. We'll say pound main dash nav, and we'll set the ULLIA dot current. So this is the class of current on an anchor tag, child of li, child of ul, child of the ID main nav. So that's quite a complex compound selector there. And for this one, we want the background color to be white. So we'll do that and save and come over here and refresh. And then we want the color of the text obviously to not be white, so we'll change the color. Now the color of our text we're going to match with our theme here. So let's come back and pull up on our theme, and let's select this middle orange. So we'll get our eyedropper tool and select that color. Come in here to the color picker in Photoshop and copy that hexadecimal value that it gives us right there. Then we'll jump back to our CSS and we'll paste that color in. Don't forget the pound sign at the first. And save that and come back here and refresh. And then also on this particular link, you'll notice that on our Photoshop document, it's slightly lower when we're on a selected page. So we'll have to adjust the padding. So we'll say padding dash top, and we can set the padding on the top to a different value than the padding on the bottom. So maybe we'll say padding dash top is 30 pixels. And see what that does. Let's come back here and refresh. And that actually pushed it down a little bit because that's adding the padding for them all. I'm gonna forgo that, pushing that down till we get this a little bit more fleshed out. So that's going to be considered good right now for our down state. And in the next video, we're going to cover the hover state of our menu.